they mention a podcast, they mention a book, they mention their favorite poetry, whatever, that all comes up. So we look at this result. This one takes a bit.
Now, I just want to say, Daniel, you put all those inputs in. That's your custom code, right? And all those prompts and those like instructions, you created that.
That's right. These are all custom created. Yep. Yeah, basically everything in this list, these are all custom APIs that I built.
Daniel, the question is, are you selling a product or is it on GitHub? Or, I want to be like insane like you. How do I do that? Do I buy a product from you?
I'm not really interested in selling this. I do have a product that I'm making. It's sort of related, but not exactly related. But that's not what this is. This I'm actually getting ready to release as an open source project, where basically I publish all of those modules, and they're on GitHub, and then people take them, copy them, make new ones, and make them better. And that is a project called Fabric that will be coming out soon. And I'm just going to make it all free and publicly available. Yeah, because the idea is that this should be a fabric for everyone to use, and these APIs are just floating out there. And it's just a matter of like, where is it going to be hosted? Is it going to be a private one or a public one? And those are all things I need to work out. But I want to make all the actual logic of these individual modules available to everyone.
So, I mean, that's amazing, and I'm really glad you're doing that. Do people just follow you on GitHub, or what's the best place to follow you when this and find out when this is released?
Yeah, it'll be on Daniel Miessler on GitHub. Yeah, the website is danielmiessler.com. Same as Twitter. It's all Daniel Miessler. So it'll definitely be out there. I'll put it on LinkedIn. I'll put it on Twitter and everything.
So for everyone who's following, please go and follow Daniel. I mean, this is amazing. It's really. I think I heard you say. And I think I mentioned it earlier, you had this idea years ago, right, to do something like this, and it's finally happening.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do this, and I went pretty deep into machine learning. I got a job at Apple, actually joined a machine learning team there, and learned a whole bunch of machine learning, but it was so sort of like hard to just deal with data and everything. Yeah. It's nowhere near as easy as it is now. So once things kicked off in November, I just went like full crazy into this. So if you look at this output, it is absolutely insane.
That's crazy.
So look at this. It pulled out all of her primary thoughts that she mentioned, and it puts it in this really clear view. Pulls out the best quotes. It's got all of her habits, references of like all the different poetry that she likes, some Greek mythology, and look, it's even got a recommendations section.
That's crazy.
So, I mean, and this is ridiculous. Watch this. So once you do that, I have another one called Rate for Slow. And I'm not going to run it because it requires I run that one again. It'll take forever. But you do Rate for Slow. And what this is a rating of like 5 different levels. In fact, I could just maybe take a little bit of text. Okay, so look at this. So because everything is pipeable, I'm sending to extract the wisdom, and then I'm going to say Rate for Slow.
What does Rate for Slow mean? Sorry.
So Rate for Slow means how quickly should I go and watch the original content?
Wow. Okay.
So I wrote an algorithm that basically tells me that. So I'm going to let that run. So now it has to it's extracting the transcript, then it's running to extract all the wisdom from it, then it's sending to Rate for Slow. And I've got levels of that. But this has allowed me to parse like so much content and just really, really enjoy them. I watched a thing recently. It was actually Tyler Cohen. He had somebody on, and they just talked about art and a bunch of their hobbies.
Yeah.
And they just listed all these artists that I've never heard of, and now I have a full list.
It's amazing.
And it only took like 30 seconds to run.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I think I've got a million questions for you. So while we're waiting for this, let me ask you some questions. Do you have a PhD in maths or something like that? No,
I don't. I went to school for computer information systems.
Yep.
And no, I didn't need any. Well, there wasn't machine learning at the time anyway, or there was, but it wasn't a big thing. And there definitely wasn't like generative AI at the time. So no, I wasn't exposed to AI at all growing up. I would say the reason that I got exposed to this is just like I've always had a foot in the extremely technical and a foot also in like what's interesting for humanity, and I've been merging them. So when generative AI popped, it allowed me to merge them well.
Yeah, I mean, your background is mainly security, and I mean, it's amazing that you like doing this now. So, I mean, the reason I asked that question is a lot of people might feel that I could never do this. I don't have a PhD in mathematics. I don't know like data science and all this stuff. But you've been able to do this without that kind of knowledge, right?
That's right. That's right. It's actually very similar to hacking. It's great that you asked that question because people will say, "Well, how do I find the vulnerabilities?
Yeah.
What do I go into for security?" And the answer is exactly the same as with AI. Go where your curiosity takes you. And the question is, well, how do I become curious? Well, you got to expose yourself to a lot of things, and you have to have something that you want to do in the world, right? And once you have those things, you start exposing yourself, ideas pop up. You have curiosities, you start chasing them, and then pretty soon you're hacking because hacking is like answering questions. And it's the same with AI. So for me, I know that I like to parse information. I know I like to output that information in different forms. I know I want to be smarter and more informed. Like all those things are problems, and I write AI to solve those problems. And now we have the output of rate for slow. So check this out, CSR, whatever acronym. As soon as possible. This is the highest possible rating.
Wow.
And I told it to explain why it thinks this. And look, it tells me exactly why it thinks that video. And by the way, it's matching that to its preferences about me that it knows.
I was going to ask you that. I mean, this is very specific to you because you've kind of like taught it about what you like, right?
That's right.
Because, I mean, if you like art, maybe someone else doesn't like art, it wouldn't have given them that rating. Sorry, you were going to say something.
You're interested in wisdom related to the meaning of life, the role of technology in the future of humanity, the intersection of technology and human culture, how to find meaning in a world run by AI, and similar topics. So that's how it's doing the filter.